Hello, hello, hello. Sorry for the late start here. Some technical difficulties, but we're here. Welcome to Big Girl Talk. I am Christine, and this is my sister,
Jamila.
We are going to be doing a continuation today. We're going to jump right in. Today's topic, of course, is trauma, and this is part dos.
Part two of Trauma. Thank you for joining us, everyone, on TikTok. We are also on Facebook Live under the Big Girl Talk page. Please go over and join and be updated on when we are live. We go live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hello.
This topic today is Trauma Part 2. It is a continuation from last week. And hopefully we can continue to talk and heal. I hope you guys got a really good vibe about last week's show. I'm hoping to continue it on this week. Last week we discovered some things about ourselves and about our viewers.
Definitely.
About trauma. Trauma, we did establish, was a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. So if you are or have experienced some type of trauma, which we all have, we don't necessarily label it, but we all have definitely experienced some sort of trauma. We want to talk about it today. We want to make sure that you understand you're not alone. And this is a free space. It's a safe space to be able to talk and heal or what have you. Right?
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, I did want to make this disclaimer. We are not professional counselors. Whatever we're talking about is literally based on our own personal lives, events, experiences. So we definitely want to make sure that you definitely understand it. And this is a conversation. So this is we do actually welcome comments, concerns, questions, but we're literally having a conversation between us. So we're just bringing you guys in, right? All right, so let's get started. So you did a recap in regards to last week.
Right.
So I know that we was talking about earlier, off camera or whatever, how it literally trauma actually affects us, not only us personally, but it can affect our future families, because especially going into like childhood trauma, the things that we deal with or that I've dealt with, I know has really affected how I parent. And I know we was talking about that last week as well, because I know I was talking about how I raised my son, and I made sure, well, I tried to make sure that he didn't have the same upbringing as I did.
That's right, the same experiences.
Right.
Get it, yeah.
So I definitely do. I definitely do understand now, with literally kind of deep diving into this whole trauma thing, that it has affected how I parent, how I work, how I interact with other adults, and my daily living. Because of course it's deeply rooted, and it's something that we definitely have to make sure that we get taken care of. Hey, TikTok. I don't know. I'm sorry if you went over there.
When you come in, please type in BGT. That's Big Girl Talk. Let us know you're here. Comment, share, like. Tap the screen. Give us those likes up there on TikTok.
Absolutely.
And definitely tap the screen over here on Facebook. So definitely, yeah, what we experience put something in us that makes us want to do a different upbringing for our children. So it definitely does have a say in how you raise your kids, other things that you have experienced in the past. So hey Mike. So we had two very different upbringings.
Right.
So we definitely shared last week that I was a 2-parent home. You were a 1-parent home, but you didn't feel safe. Not safe, but you didn't feel accepted or loved in your home, right? So that's just something you can share. I can't really go beyond that. What I felt in my home, I felt good. I had everything I needed. I had older siblings that protected me and that cared for me when my mother couldn't, because she was sick a lot of my childhood. I had a dad that was there. He worked. He made sure that we had what we had. He also had a hand in raising my 2 sisters. So because he was my dad alone in the home. I also had brothers so that were outside of the home. So I mean, I had a lot of I had a lot of people that surrounded me, and I had a lot of love between my mom and my dad. But there were still some things that were lacking. Nobody ever gets it 100% right.
True.
There were some things that were still lacking. At one point I didn't feel safe because some things had happened to me, and it felt like people were sweeping it up under the rug. So just very different sides of how we grew up, which still had a hand in how I raised my kids. Because the thing that happened to me, I tried to make sure it did not happen to my daughter.
Absolutely.
So, that definitely, and I dealt with it, and I feel like I've dealt with it and moved on. But trauma is coming to us every day. Things are still happening every day. So how did you want to?
And different types of I'm gonna say triggers. Triggers are apparent every day. Even though we of course try to avoid those, and then with childhood trauma, anything could actually trigger that emotion or that darkness that we experienced as a child. I know with arguing or certain types of words trigger me in regards to like my childhood trauma. Now, I'm not going to say 100% that I felt like, this is my personal opinion.
Right.
I felt like I was not liked. I know we have a term, the black sheep of the family. That's what I felt like, the black sheep of my family. I was actually the last born. You would think like the baby or the last born or whatever have all the affection, all the cuddles or whatever. Wasn't for me. Now, my siblings at the time, when I was younger, my oldest sister, of course, I do remember she used to take care of me like I was her baby doll. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say 100% that I wasn't fully cared for. It was just certain aspects of my childhood that I felt like I was left out, and I was not, taken care of fully. But I learned fast that I had to take care of myself.
Okay.
So I found a little friendship group in I think it was like middle school. Yeah, when I went to Carver Junior High School, I found my little clique or whatever, and that was my safe space going forward. So that's how I survived my childhood, was my friendships. And shout out to y'all. y'all know who y'all
is. Do you feel like your friends more so showed you how life was going to be about, or is this just somewhere where you were able to be yourself?
Basically, just be myself. Like it felt like they did not judge me. Like I wasn't the fat one, or I wasn't the least attractive one, or whatever. I was just Christine, and they accepted me as Christine.
Gotcha.
That the goofy, the awkward, they accepted me. So yeah, I definitely feel like.
Gotcha. And it's crazy that you would have to turn to friends when you got a whole family at home. That you would have to turn to some friends that, may not even be living the same life that you live in.
True.
Or they may be well on or well established, and you're looking to them for guidance or for friendship or for love or support or whatever. When you got a whole family at home.
I freestyled my whole childhood, bro.
Wow.
I freestyled my entire childhood. Like, whoo. It wasn't hard as far as like, other kids be like, oh, I was beaten every day, or I wasn't fed. It was not the case. My mama did, of course. She did her due diligence as a parent. She cooked. She made sure the house was clean. She provided. She did this. But it wasn't us to be all lovey-dovey. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Okay.
So, because I did not experience that, I felt like I was missing out. And I wanted to make sure that when I had a child, he was always going to be.
And that's crazy that you would say, or you could feel like you missing out on something that you were never brought up on. Like what inside you said, there's something missing. Something's not complete here.
You know what? That's crazy, because I don't know. It was just something in me. It was like different, because like when I was put in Girl Scouts, I was in cheerleading as a little girl or whatever. So I was but the activities that I was in, I put myself in, or I had to like beg, can I please be a part of this?
Okay.
So I guess with those activities and being around other like kids and stuff like that, and seeing like their parents come to the events and stuff like that, I'm like,
so that's when it starts sinking in, like something.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, somebody, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was missing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And for that reason, you attempted to raise your son differently.
Absolutely.
So he wouldn't feel that void.
Exactly. Even though I was a young mother, we grew up together. I had him my senior year of high school. I was 17, turning 18. Mm-hmm. And I tried to make sure he was very well taken care of. I think he turned out pretty good. If I say so, a little icks. Hey, Cherry.
Hey, Cherry.
So, Mike, you said empathetic power. Okay.
Empathic.
Mm-hmm. Empathic. Is it? Okay.
Same thing. And yeah, I believe that too. I believe there was something there. Okay. I believe there was something there that unctioned you to want more or feel like you deserve more, needed more.
Right, because I always felt like, you know what I'm saying, I was a pretty dope child.
Right.
I didn't cause any trouble. Mm-hmm. Like, you barely even knew I was there. What was it?
Are you telling the truth?
Huh?
Are you telling the truth?
I didn't cause what trouble? Love.
All kids cause some kind of ruckus.
I wasn't a ruckus well, okay.
Some kind of lascivious behavior.
I caused any trouble. Like, I mean, I was a little mousy. Because I do remember a couple of instances where, you know, my mom was called to school. But it wasn't even that bad. No, it was just because I was telling my teachers they couldn't tell me what to do.
Mm-mm. And we're moving
on. That's another show. Anyway, so as far as like childhood trauma, that actually went into my young adult, my teenage years, my adolescence, shall I say. I was doing all kind of lascivious activities.
Mm-hmm. All those lascivious activities.
But that's how I function.
Right. And that's how I feel like with what I went through as a young child. I didn't know how to process. So I just did what I could, kept quiet, and moved on. Up until my middle school, high school, I had a lot of fun, but I had a lot of self-esteem issues.
Okay.
And I think I threw off like laughter and joking and things like that so that I wouldn't feel like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. Everybody else got a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. Let me just be a jokester.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't turn into because you're one of the bigger girls, you don't have a boyfriend. You know, and because you're one of the bigger girls, you're not on the cheerleading squad or whatever, what have you. So I think that's how I got through middle school. High school, I started being fast. So that was, which I'm pretty sure was again a self-esteem issue. Stop. I started being fast.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that was it. I was very sneaky. I can tell you that. I was a go along to get along girl. Hey, yep, I can agree. And it was like you do stuff so that you can offset what's really wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so then I became popular in a way of laughter. Not like the popular girl in school.
Right.
But people wanted to hang around me because I kind of made them laugh sometimes. And that was a big thing for me because I was really, really shy for a while. And then, you know, you get the bullies or whatever. So when they start bullying you, then I had to switch that thing up. I had to get me another kind of outlook. Because I wasn't going to be the one that was going to be bullied all the time. You're just not going to do me like that.
They tried. They definitely tried to bully me because I was a loner pretty much in elementary school. But, yeah, you heard what I said. Elementary.
She come from all of a sudden. Elementary.
Yeah, they really did try because I was, you know, like I said, I was loner. And by the time I had hit, like, I think 5th or 6th grade, of course, my older sibling, she was already in middle school. So I had nobody to, like, take up for me. Like we used to walk home and they used to gang. I'm talking about they used to try to gang up on you, girl. But look, I stood 10 toes down. Can't nobody say they beat up Christine. Nobody. I promise you. And if they tried, baby, we was toe to toe. Let's go.
Okay.
Because like you was not about to bully me. I was the bully to the bullies. I was always looking out for certain things like the little bitty ones and stuff like that because I was always the taller one, the bigger one. But you're not about to embarrass nobody in front of me. You're not about to push nobody down. So no. But with being a target, there goes a whole nother thing of being traumatic, right? So I always felt like I had to be the bully to the bullies. And that's how I developed the hardcore, the bitchy, no nonsense type of personality that I'm trying to still get away from.
Yeah. Because it follows us. Like
it does.
But even to this day, like you're not gonna do I can't watch you do something to somebody else and not intervene in some type of way. It's not gonna happen. Now in my 40s, I ain't too quick to jump out there to help you. I call 911 in a minute. Everybody already know that 911 is my friend, and I will call them, and I'll watch.
She would definitely call the authorities
and let you see me call them. How about it?
I'm talking about, hello, is this the authorities?
I'm calling them
definitely
because something's going down, and it don't need to be calling them. So,
what is one thing as of right now? We're kind of jumping all over the place because it's just everything's
traumatic.
It is.
It really is.
So, do you think having a traumatic childhood and or adolescence really helped you develop who you are today? Do you think that's like a good thing or a bad thing, or how would you describe it?
My biggest trauma, I think it did help develop me because it made me more aware. It made me more cautious of how ugly people are inside, of how ugly people can be to one another. I think it made me be on the lookout for those types of things. Had that not happened to me, I might would have been oblivious to different things happening, different things that could happen to children, or what have you. I feel like because I was molested, I'm able to look for signs of kids dealing with deep dark secrets. I'm able to look and know when people are acting weird because they don't want to tell you or they don't want to face certain traumas. I can sense stuff like that. So I think it's kind of magnified for me because I've been through it.
Right.
That's how I feel. And I feel now, Lord knows I would have never wanted it to happen to me, but God knows I don't want it to happen to anybody else.
Sure.
So if I can intervene or stop something or be able to tell what some parents can't. Like some parents just don't know what's wrong with their kids. And sometimes it's just as simple as they got a secret or they're dealing with a trauma that they really just don't know how to tell you. For a long time, I didn't know how to tell anybody, and I didn't actually voice it like I was saying last week. I wrote it down and put it somewhere where I knew somebody would find it. And still, it never got dealt with on a family platform.
Right. So you wrote it down, but who did you finally verbalize it to?
I didn't verbalize it until I was older.
In your 20s?
Yeah, like when I had my first child.
Oh, wow.
Since it was a girl, I verbalized it. I want to say I verbalized it to my older sister and told her about it because I didn't want it to happen to my child. The person that did it to me was providing me with gifts for my little girl. Oh, no, you can take that back.
Yeah.
I don't want that. There was a tennis bracelet that came through. There was a stroller that came through. I'm talking about the stroller was top of the line with the car seat and the this and you could transfer it, this and that.
Those are guilt gifts.
It never came out the box.
I don't
want that. You'll never be able to see her. The tennis bracelet I think I gave to my sister. I don't want it. Why? Because you've done something to me that you can't take back.
Right.
And I haven't forgiven you at this point. I think I was 16. I haven't forgiven you at this point. So I voiced it to her just to get it out. It was nothing I wanted her to do about it. I just wanted somebody to know. So,
son, can you turn off the fan for me, please?
Why are you trying to be quiet?
Right.
But I think it just shifted me in a way to be more cautious and more alert. Yeah. I think that's what happened. I thank God. I want to say it did not stain my soul.
That's a blessing.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
However, I was very promiscuous in my teens and 20s. I was. So I don't know if maybe that was a backlash or if it was just because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it could have been, and this is just my opinion, it could have been because you were exposed to so much that you wanted to actually subconsciously see what it was. Not saying that you enjoyed it or anything like that. It was just something like, maybe this happened to me because of something. Let me find something to kind of figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But a lot, that's what I heard about a lot of, with dealing with stuff like that, like people that were like molested or raped even, that they became very promiscuous or even just really, what's the word I'm looking for? Sadistic, sexually, because of that. So it could be, it could not.
I never really got down to the basis of why I was promiscuous in that time. Now, and you could say it was because everybody was, or you could say it was peer pressure, or you could say it was whatever. But I truly believe that there's a root to everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not, that part of it, I'm really not sure. But
welcome in. If you are coming in, make sure you type BGT in the comments, so that we know that you are here. We are continuing our conversation about trauma, part 2. This 2. I'm bilingual.
If you would like to talk live here on the show, we can provide you with a number to call.
Yes.
Just let us know, and we can get you on the air. Absolutely. So we're actually just having a conversation, and be you can join in at any time. I don't know what I was about to say.
It's all right.
But feel free to join in at any time, right?
But please make sure that you type BGT in the comments so we know that you are here.
Right.
We see you, but we just want to know that you're watching. Who you are.
We don't know
who you is.
Who you is. Who I am.
So continuing, why are we doing it? Continuing on, of course. Now, with being the way that you were in your teens and your early 20s, did you ever think back on those instances?
No, okay. I didn't. I did not think back on that instance because it, for one, irritated my soul. For two, that person irritated me so bad I couldn't even be in the same room with them. I didn't think I didn't think back on that. Once I got good and grown, and was able to start understanding forgiveness, I was able to go back to that time, figure out what happened. I even kind of understood why, because I don't think that person is fully mentally functioning.
Okay.
That's what I see now as an adult. So I'm thinking that has to be the only reason why you would raise your hand to do such a thing,
right,
to a child. You can't be fully mentally functioning. That's just it, you just can't be.
So do you think that's what started the whole forgiveness process, when you kind of broke that down?
It is. I saw this person and I recognized something just wasn't right. I began talking to my God about it, and I began a process of healing and a process of forgiving.
Okay.
And when I was able to look this person in the eye and say hello and not cringe and not walk away and not run away, I knew I was done. I was done.
That's amazing. So Sharif, again, thank you for coming in. We are talking about trauma. Anywhere between childhood trauma, anything that anyone has dealt with in their childhood that has been traumatic throughout their entire life up until adolescence, adulthood. We're talking about relationship traumas. We're talking about trauma. So you can chime in. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure you type in BDT in the comments. So I know right now that we're talking about Jamila's forgiveness as far as her main traumatic experience from her childhood. We're just kind of touching on it and how she was being she was praying, and of course she was trying to make sure that she forgave this person for being so ill,
being
just disgusting.
ill. But yeah,
anywho,
so moving on from that, what's a okay? So we dealt with childhood trauma, not
right.
dealt with, but we talked about childhood trauma that creeped up into our adolescent years and then moved into our adulthood. What is a major trauma that you feel like either you're still dealing with or that you're dealing with recently or presently?
Well, I know one main thing that I'm still dealing with. I've tried to let it go. Is the absence of my father. I know 100% who he is. I just don't understand why he was never in my life, and because of that, throughout my entire lifespan, I think that's why I kind of cling on to people. When I first meet them, I'm very, I don't want to say judgmental, but I'm very like discerning depending on who you are. Because I don't want you to leave me if I like you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to leave me if I love you. So because I never experienced that type of fatherly love, I think that's why a lot of my relationships have failed to a certain extent. I went as far as trying to contact him on Facebook. I actually befriended him, I think last year on Facebook. He never actually viewed the friend request, so he never accepted it. And then he ended up passing away this year on Valentine's Day. Before he passed, I years and years and years ago, I had contacted his wife at the time. And she was just like, "You're not his daughter. Do not call him. Don't do this. Don't do that." And I'm like, "But I got the proof. I like literally, I have the blood work that says you are 99.9999999 the father for Christine Harris." So she was really like gung ho about that, and she really shut it down. And then I started like trying to get in contact with different types of family members. They were shutting me down. My sibling at the time, she wasn't having it. She had a relationship with him, and I'm guessing that she didn't want to share that relationship. So she shut it down. She was like always just saying like, I don't want to talk about that, or what did she used to say? You just being dramatic. I'll listen, this and that. And I'm like, how? I just want to know who you know. You know what I'm saying? I want to experience it. You know what I'm saying? But that trauma there is still haunting me. And because he has passed away now, where do I go?
Right.
Where do I go? Now. And then like I think a month, maybe a couple weeks or a month after he passed, his wife passed. So where do I go from there? Like
are there's some additional siblings?
There are. I've tried to befriend them. They haven't reached out as of yet, but I don't want to be the one to be like hounding. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you know what? I got my family who whatever. It is what it is. But I don't want to be like that because my son deserves to know who his grandfather was, or you know what I'm saying, whatever his extra aunts and uncles. I know because he's my son and he's a grown man, he gonna take my side. He gonna be like, "Mom, I'm not worried about them people." But you still want to know who your family
sometimes
is.
When you don't know, and it doesn't bother you.
Right.
And that's for him. But for you, you were right there close up in it.
Right.
So because you didn't get a chance, that's what's bothering you. And nobody wants to own up to. And I don't know what was the big issue, like, because he said this for so long, he didn't want his wife to think otherwise. I mean, if I'm sitting here with paperwork that says you're my daddy, you're my daddy. I mean, it was whatever, how many other years ago, 20, 30 some odd years ago. Yeah. Why would it make a difference now to your wife? Yeah. But that's weird.
I've heard so many stories in regards to what led up to like the separation and stuff like that, but it's just now my auntie, she gave me the she loves me. You hear me? I am the star in her eye. I could be her child. But she not gave me the nitty gritty. But you know what? I'm trying to find a place where I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. But I haven't found it yet. So y'all pray for me.
Still doing. I mean, you got to dig it back up and redo it just so you can heal. Because it's really all about your healing. I mean, he's passed away now. She's the wife has passed away now. Your mom has passed away.
My mom passed away first. So
you really just got to heal from it now. There's nobody left to talk to.
Yeah, I really do think that it's affecting me in all types of relationships that I'm having, because it's just the simple fact of, are y'all gonna leave me?
Right. Right.
You know, and even though I'm 38, it's still a childlike innocence to that, and I try to like adult it every time, and sometimes it don't work.
And you know what it's doing? It's pushing it further down. When you try to be an adult and try to glaze over because you feel like, okay, it's really not that serious now anymore. Yes, it still is. It's still very much serious. It's still very much real. Mm-hmm. So we got to deal with it.
Right.
We have to deal with it some kind of way. And sometimes it takes therapy.
Black
people, it takes therapy sometimes when you can't get it together yourself. Sometimes you got to lay on the couch and talk to somebody professionally.
I mean, y'all chime in. Y'all can chime in. Now, I do understand the importance of healing from this trauma. And that's why I'm so glad that we are talking about it. Because it's not too late to start healing. Mm-hmm. It's not.
Never. As long as you got breath in your body. It's never too late to start a healing process.
That's
for
true.
Whatever.
I think we are pretty much hardwired to not be selfish. And when we say, oh, I'm healing, or I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do this for me, there's always a negative connotation in regards to, oh, you just thinking about yourself. But I mean, in all actuality, yeah, I am.
It's time for me to think about myself.
I've
been thinking about others for so long. I've even protected my attackers for so long.
Yeah,
it's time to think about me. Mm-hmm. Everybody has attacked me from northwest, east, and south, and I'm supposed to be okay with it. No,
right, absolutely not.
It's time for me to think about me. It's time for me to heal. It's time for me to shut people out, shut people down, and think about me and get myself together. Once I'm together, then I can help somebody else. Mm-hmm. But how can I help you if I'm broken?
That's true. It's like the blind leading the blind.
Right. I'm leaning on this crutch, trying to get you to walk. How?
Yeah. So we definitely, these conversations, if you are not comfortable with a therapist or a counselor, it's good that you can actually talk to somebody that you know. I wouldn't turn down a counselor or a therapist because they're not biased.
Sorry. Turn down a counselor because they're not biased.
They're not biased, and they don't know me personally. So They would definitely hear, of course, paying for the service, but still, they have to have some type of empathy going into the situation and understanding, because that's what they do. I can't what, Mike? What you talking about?
You can. And also, talk to a life coach. Life coaches are a lot less expensive than therapists. However, we are not licensed, but we are here to help guide you and to help put you back in the game.
Come on, we're
right. We are here for that. I am a grieving life coach, a grief life coach. If you need me, hit me up. I'm willing to talk to you. And as I said before, I have healed from the childhood trauma that I had. But we're going through stuff every day, and that's everybody. Mm-hmm. Don't set aside or put somebody so far up on a pedestal that they fall and break their neck. I'm a person just like everybody else.
Right.
And I go through things. But I'm definitely here to help you go through yours.
So Mike said, help someone heal while you're broken. The key is to do it for both.
It is, and I agree with you to a certain extent. However, if I can't pull myself together enough to try to help you, then neither one of us are doing I'm not doing a service to either one of us.
Right.
Now, if within me talking to you and helping you heal, I in return am able to heal myself, or I'm able to take my own advice, then yeah, I'm all for that. I'm game for that. But if I can't pull myself out the bedroom from crying to be able to help you, then there's nothing getting done.
Right. And it's Cherry Realities Hair said, I definitely believe in respecting someone's process for their healing. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you don't know what that process looks like for them.
Exactly.
How it looks for you definitely does not look the same for anybody else.
True.
The process is always different. And the process either takes long or it's a short-term process. It depends. You can't tell nobody how to grieve. You can't tell nobody how to heal. And you definitely can't pull nobody up that's not ready.
That's true. Because that's going to be a little bit more damaging for that person that is trying to heal. Because, like, one thing that you can't do to a person that's in their healing process is rush it.
Right.
Come on now, man. You got to get over this. Huh?
Right. You can't do that.
You cannot do that. That's definitely going to be more damaging. And you cannot downsize someone's trauma. I see that. I hear that a lot. Because something might be traumatic. Like, your situation is traumatic. But it doesn't, like, okay, so you went through your part, and then I went through my part. We cannot say one is greater than the other.
Right. Because what I experienced is just as traumatic as what you experienced.
Exactly.
It's as traumatic to me as your thing is as traumatic to you.
Right.
I can't compare it. I can't contrast it. We can't do nothing with it. This is mine. It was traumatic for me. That's yours.
Because what I don't like is like, oh man, I've been through worse.
What?
What does that even mean? So what you're saying that what I went through is not worth it? I don't understand. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's weird. You have to choose. You have to pick and choose your verbiage around people when they're telling you. And definitely don't like dismiss my feelings about it.
Absolutely.
Don't do that because it's been so long. I should be over it by now.
Right.
Or because it's been so long, I should be okay or whatever. I should be able to talk about it. No, don't do that.
Laura, somebody named Laura requested to go live with you. It just vanished.
Maybe should do it again. But yeah, don't dismiss my feelings about anything because what I'm saying to you, if I'm saying it, that's how I feel.
Right.
So don't dismiss that. Don't tell me I should feel a different type of way. That's weird. That's crazy.
That's definitely weird.
Yeah, and it's dangerous.
Very much so. Because what you're gonna do is get yourself hurt.
You're gonna get yourself hurt. Don't do that.
So I know with all these experiences or what have you, I have built or actually established a defense mechanism for different type of situations. Do you think you've done the same?
I know I have. I know I have because there are times where I can shut myself off from the world 2-3 days and I'm okay with it. And whatever happens. What I do is I will pray and ask God that, to protect and the people that I normally kick it with on a day-to-day basis, my family, my dad, my sons, and I ask God to protect everybody. And while I'm going through what I'm going through, and because I got to shut down for a couple of days. And if I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. And I'm talking about phone, social media. I'm talking about everything.
Yeah.
I won't go to work because it's just things I got to deal with. And if I don't deal with them, I'm gonna take it out on somebody, and that's not me. I don't want to do that. So let me get in my space.
Yeah.
And let me do what I got to do. And when I'm done, I'll come out. Right?
Absolutely.
You see it. I locked myself in for 5 days. Why? Because I just don't want to deal with nobody else. Let me deal with me. And then when I'm done, I'll come out. I'll crawl out this rabbit hole and let you know I'm okay.
Not a rabbit hole.
And I know that's what I do. But I do it so swiftly. I don't give nobody no warnings.
But that's the point of having people around you that know who you are. Man. That because people recognize what you're doing. Because I'll leave you alone. I'll come check. I'll be like, hey.
Right.
All right, then I'll leave you alone.
I just want to know you're breathing.
That's it.
And that's how I do you. You're okay. Do you need anything? Do you want to go to the hospital? Oh, okay.
All right, let it go.
I'll let me like.
It's very important to have people that recognize your behaviors. Don't fault you for them, but accept them and still make sure that you're still good.
Right.
That's a definite important thing to deal or have in your whole trauma healing situation. Mm-hmm. So I know like with different types of trauma or different type of traumatic experiences, especially in adulthood, they come from. That was lame.
Thank you for the roses, Glenda.
Oh, hey Glenda.
We're also on Facebook Live on the Big Girl Talk page. If you would like to come over and join us there. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for joining and thank you for the likes. Please like, share, comment. We are talking about trauma right now. This is a part 2 from last week. We're talking about trauma, whether it be childhood, teen, adult, what you're dealing with right now. We're trying to just talk and heal, you guys. So we're also on Facebook Live on the Big Girl Talk page.
That's BIGGURLTALK.
Join us on Facebook as well.
Big Girl.
Thank you so much for joining.
So I know moving right along in that traumatic experiences and different types of situations. So now let's fast forward to friendships. Have you had some traumatic friendships or situations with so-called friends?
Man, so I don't have a lot of girlfriends, friend girls, what have you. Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of them because females are, for some reason, are very competitive.
That's her opinion, you guys.
That's just my opinion. Females are quite competitive. They're quite petty. And it's like some people don't think you can have more than one best friend. I mean, like, are we in elementary or what? Because the friend girls that I have had, I have lent my ear. I have lent my time. I have counseled and financed these people. And yet, when it was time for me to say something about my life or something I'm going through or needed an ear or something, they were never available. And even if they were, it was very short-lived because it needed to be about them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can have girlfriends at a distance. Mm-hmm. Like I can comment on your stuff on Facebook. I can see you in the streets and we can say a brief hello and how we need to get together and how we will get together, but we won't. I can do all of that,
but we won't.
But I can't have somebody that I chit chat with every day, all day. And I'm going to tell you why, because of that reason. It's never anything beneficial for me. If that's petty for me, call me that. Mm-hmm. But there's never anything that I can be able to just take a load off and be able to say something to my friend about what I need. It's always me being the trash can. No, I'm done with that.
That's understandable.
So I didn't have good friendships with females. Men I could talk to all day long. And I don't even have to have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to men all day long. But a lot of men aren't doing that anymore.
Oh my God.
I used to have a male best friend. And then he got married and now we can't because females don't really like that. They don't like their man to have best friends as females. And this guy, I never had sex with him ever in life. Mm-hmm. And I don't really believe we was headed that way. But when he got married, I just kind of fell off because I don't want to be nothing that comes between you and your wife.
Right. Okay. I mean, that definitely makes sense. I mean, I do have a male best friend, and when I tell you, yeah, it's he's something special. But
Sorry. Glenda says trusting a friend and then finding out that they are not trustworthy can be very traumatic.
absolutely. And I did write down here betrayal.
Absolutely.
That could be a very, very traumatic experiences because you have opened up your entire soul to this person, just to only find out that they did not have your best interests at heart.
Right.
That is traumatic.
They went down for you ever. Was never a friend.
Listen,
meanwhile, you were being the friend that you wanted them to be.
Listen.
Come on now.
And I never wanted to be that person that has been a traumatic experience to someone else.
Right. I didn't want to leave an imprint of hurting somebody.
Right.
I get what you're saying. I don't want to be that person where you're dealing with something because I hurt you.
Right.
No.
I've always been the kind of person like if I've said anything to you that offended you, hurt you, let me know. Because at the end of the day, sometimes with dealing with the stuff that we're dealing with, you are, like you said, what's the word you used earlier? Oblivious.
Oh, I'm oblivious.
You are oblivious to your actions, and so I want somebody to hold me accountable.
Right. Tell me right then. If I hurt your feelings, tell me right then. Don't wait next week. Because guess what? I'm getting good sleep while you over there traumatized about what I done said. Tell me then. I never mean to hurt anybody, but if I do, tell me.
Absolutely. I've always been like that.
With the alt that you have against me.
You're so stupid. But I've always been that person, and that's why I think I have a very open and honest relationship with pretty much everybody that I encounter, because I'm a very blunt person. It could be harsh to some people, and that's why I'm like, if I ever hurt your feelings, let me know. We can talk about this thing, but that's gonna be on you
if you don't say nothing. Now, granted, I might not be sorry for what I said, but maybe I could have
said it a different way.
It's
not what you say, it's how you say
it. Because if I said it, I meant it.
Absolutely.
I meant it. You might weren't ready to receive it, but I meant what I said.
And Mike said, so-called friends use you for a pincushion. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Without being a true friend. Like that. Don't poke me. I'm gonna punch you.
Not punch you. Don't poke me because I'm gonna punch you. That's the line.
I don't want to be nobody pincushion. Now, if we in this thing together, me and
you telling me what's good for me,
exactly,
that's different.
Because like this friendship, this sisterhood has been in the making for the past 30 years. Now there are certain things that I can tell her that I dare not to tell nobody else. Because first and foremost, Mila is not gonna lie to me. She's not. If I'm in the wrong, she's gonna tell me. I don't like it because I think she's supposed to have my side. You fake.
But here's the thing. Here's why it works. I'm not gonna embarrass her in front of nobody.
Exactly. And
she might be wrong in public, and I might have her back 100%. But when we get home, I see you was wrong for this. I went along with it, but that was wrong, and you need to apologize.
It has happened before.
And it has happened. I'm not gonna not defend her in public. That is my sister.
Right.
What I look like in public going against her. But what I'm gonna do when we get home, we gonna talk about this thing because you was wrong.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to my room.
You was wrong for this.
I don't want to talk about it. I can
wait.
You're being traumatic.
I can wait right here. I'm putting some trauma.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna wait right about it.
That hurts me.
You ready to talk about it?
That hurts me.
I don't care. It's for your good.
And see, promising.
But I can do that. So this 30 years. This 30 years, I can do that.
No, these people just tripping.
I can do that.
That includes, like you said, pin cushions, of course. Fake friends could be traumatic. What Miss Linda said,
when you think they're your friend and they not.
Yep. And then peer pressure. I never really fail with the peer pressure because if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. But if I don't want to do, you will lose your breath trying to tell me what to do.
I ain't gonna do it.
I can't speak on that.
You know, if I don't want to do it, I ain't doing it. I don't care how many times you come to me with it. I don't care how you present it to me. If I'm not doing it. It's just
stubborn.
Sometimes I might tell you I think about it, but ultimately, I ain't doing it. I don't know how that works.
Relationship wise. And romantic relationship. Has there been a traumatic experience that you have been trying to get over or heal from? I possibly know.
Oh my God.
The love of all loves, but
girl. Yes. This is that simple. Yes. I mean, absolutely. I've had a lot that has happened to me romantically. And the thing about it is, guys, let me just talk to y'all for a second. If you don't want to, leave her alone. Please.
Move out the way.
Move out the way, because you holding up the line. That's what you're doing. You holding up the line. If you don't want to, leave her alone. Like, stop doubling back. For what? And really, I got to put some emphasis on the females too. Like, we got to be a little bit stronger, and we got to be able to understand. And look, we understand our
and
worth.
She just said that. That's for the females too, Mike. Calm down.
We got to be a little more strong. We know our worth, but we're not expressing it. We're not putting a charge on that thing. You can say, learn your worth, know your worth, and all that. Yeah, I know it. I know exactly what I deserve, but I'm not putting a charge on it. Like, I'm allowing you to do these things. And because if I don't want him, you better believe he won't hear from me. Right. He's not going to hear from me. Like, if I don't want you for any reason, sexually, or to be my husband or my man or what, if I don't want you for anything, you're not going to hear from me. There's no reason why I should double back. For what? Just for you to get on my nerves again? Like, no. Not. So, yeah, it's some things that I am dealing with and struggling with because they keep doubling back.
Right.
Quit. Like, leave me alone.
Somebody leave me alone. Definitely. That's so I know relationship wise, as far as like with me, I've had some traumatic experiences that actually help. I ain't gonna say help, but that's how I act towards my current relationship now, and or relationships now.
Yes, I told you.
So I mean, it's definitely a process in regards to any type of traumatic experiences, and if y'all hear that, it is the washing machine.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We still gotta wash clothes. Stop. Go.
His wife was very controlling in an abusive manner. And a lot of people do not admit that. Being like, men do not admit being in an abusive or traumatic relationship,
right?
Because I hate to say this, but it's out of the norm to be in a DV relationship from a male's point of view,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's so important to speak out on it because you never know who's
going through it.
Absolutely,
right?
Sherry said, well-being saved as a teenager had its own set of rules when it came to peer pressure for me, but I didn't follow them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that was a big step to be saved as a teenager and still be able to get through the process and go through things in your teenage years, through high school, and to be saved. Oh, that was a big step.
Absolutely.
Because people don't understand that.
She said you still like that, Jamila.
Like, what? Closing people off. And is. It is. I mean, I don't do what I do, and I get it from my daddy. So y'all blame him.
Don't blame Bob.
I get it from my daddy.
Don't do that.
When he don't want to do something, he not
gonna do it. Not gonna do what?
We tired. He not doing it.
We literally haven't eaten. I haven't eaten nothing but
Nothing.
today.
When I tell you Thanksgiving is over, stop it. It's over. Ain't no more plates. Ain't no more Thanksgiving.
I can fix one more.
No, that's it. As of last night, it's over.
She by herself on
and
that.
I ain't ate nothing today, and I need to do
trauma.
Thanksgiving is trauma. It's trauma. I can't do it. It's over.
We can definitely go on and on about personal experiences, about trauma. We definitely wanted to make sure that we touch on the subject. It's going to be many times or many shows in the future that we kind of touch on the subject, but we definitely want to kind of open the door for future conversations or anything like that. We definitely do appreciate everybody for coming in from TikTok as well as a Facebook. Ma'am,
please go over to Facebook to our Big Girl Talk page.
Yes.
Please like it. Please share it. Please follow it so that you can be involved with us on every conversation. We also have a Big Girl Talk platform on YouTube where we post all of our videos. We also have the MBH coaching page. That's moving beyond the hurt coaching page, where you can get some vital information about how to deal with your grief or your trauma. We also have free consultations for 1 hour. If you go over to the MBH coaching page on Facebook, you can be able to set up your 1 hour consultation. I also have a book called Through a Mother's Eyes. This is a book that I wrote about my daughter, about her traumatic experience as a juvenile diabetic, and how I saw her when she was going through all of these things and what we experienced. So this is on Amazon for $19.99 for the book, $9.99 for the ebook. You can go to Amazon and get that. Hopefully it will bless you as it has blessed me. We have so many different things going on.
Yes.
Please look out for us. We got plays and movies and short films and sitcoms. We have things coming up, you guys, and we want you to be a part of it all. So please join us here on TikTok and over on the Big Girl Talk page on Facebook every Sunday live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sometimes we might be
5 o'clock hour.
Let's just say that.
We be in the 5 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time.
I'm gonna start writing it live in the 5 o'clock hour, because sometimes
somewhere between 5 and 5:30 we're gonna be live. And y'all understand, y'all get it, because we are who we are. And if you know us personally, you
already know. As long as we here before 6.
This is we here before 6. That's us. So we thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love you guys.
Thank you so much for commenting.
Yes.
Liking and all that. Please make sure you tell your friends, family, girlfriends, side pieces, people that you want to know more about us.
Come talk to us on
We're relatable.
Big Girl Talk is not just for girls. It's not just for big girls. It's for everybody.
It's literally big girls talking.
That's it. We talk about.
Come on, Taylor. Yo, read. Sorry.
We talk about everything, y'all. So please join us every Sunday live at 5 o'clock p.m.
What? But right now, we are ending this one. Thank you guys so much. This is going to be wrapping up for our trauma series, part 1 and part 2. Yes. I know we are wild. I mean, we literally are who we are. I can't be nobody else.
I don't know how.
I don't know. It's going to hurt to be somebody else. Trust me. But until next weekend. Next weekend. Yeah, it's not. We are trying to incorporate a weekday show,
like a midweek,
like a
check-in,
like a check-in,
like a midweek,
like a Wednesday where you at,
right?
Your rear,
like a Wednesday where you at. So we're gonna start doing a Wednesday where you at. And I need to know where y'all at. I need to know how you felt about the previous show.
Absolutely.
And then some ideas for some new shows. Right?
There's a lot of stuff coming, and we thank y'all so much for like being at the beginning.
Yes.
The beginning. Because
Mike, you've been there since day one.
Day one. I'm talking about, look, we might have to get him like ambassador or
you need an award.
Moderator.
Something. You need something. You've been there since day one, and we appreciate it.
We're definitely gonna have to bring you on the show. Like you're gonna have to either
you need to come down to Atlanta and sit at the table.
Sit at the table.
Make it happen.
Make it happen,
Let us know.
Because you got a lot to say, and I like you. I ain't never met you a day in my life. You my dog.
You got a lot to say.
All right. Well, we gone. That's all.
All right.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Hey, D. Thank you for joining. I love y'all. Thank you so much. And please,
I don't even know why I just
5 o'clock. I don't even. 5 o'clock hour every Sunday on Facebook Live.
I'm sorry if y'all can erase that from y'all memory.
What did you do,
ma'am? I said. Goodbye.